So with things like pain, animosity, confusion, and other words that can describe this tumultuous time that we are going through in this country, the government seems to have taken a vacation. The Senate is on vacation, and I believe the House just went on vacation as well. So I'll be reading unto you. I have two articles here. I won't read them in their entirety, but I'll be using them both as kind of support pillars for my arguments that I'm going to make. And you see the title of the video, you see what the video is about, and that is a very true statement. If you don't believe it, hold on, keep watching. Hopefully by the end of this video, and it won't be very long, I can convince you otherwise. Now, the article on time, unemployment is rising, COVID-19 cases are spiking, and the Senate just went on vacation. It starts off as so. Unemployment claims are rising, coronavirus cases are spiking, and the nation's biggest school systems are closing, and the Senate's on vacation. Yes, you read that right. Members of the Senate left the Capitol on Washington on Wednesday for Thanksgiving break. The House is expected to leave on Friday, and a coronavirus relief package is nowhere in sight. This has effectively been the state of play since the summer, as discussions got underway for crafting an additional emergency relief bill to follow the $2.2 trillion CARES Act passed in March. Both Democrats and Republicans want to get something done, but remain at odds over how to do it. House Democrats passed two bills earlier this year, which Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell dismissed as too expensive and a liberal wish list. In the Senate, Republicans tried to pass their own version of a bill only to be blocked by Democrats who deemed it insufficient. The platitudes on both sides have continued, with House Nancy Speaker Pelosi and Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer urging McConnell in a November 17th letter to restart negotiations. Even President Donald Trump, who has shown little interest in governing since the Associated Press declared that Joe Biden had defeated him in the presidential election, tweeted on November 14th that Congress must do a COVID relief bill. President-elect Biden has also called for a relief package. And also across the country, it says here, at least 4 states have closed restaurants for indoor dining in recent days, and Philadelphia and Chicago have reinstated stay-at-home advisories. These measures are necessary, but are likely to inflict further economic damage that only another federal stimulus can really alleviate at this point. It also goes on to say that the Wall Street Journal reported on Thursday that the applications for unemployment benefits last week rose by 31,000 to 742,000. Now, I know I just read unto you a mouthful, but allow me to summarize it for you. So these people that are supposed to be running this country, these ever so competent individuals, not only do they not care about you, they don't care that you know that they don't care about you, okay? They're very comfortable. They make a lot of money. They're in a really good position, right? So in their minds, it's not up to them how other Americans are doing, how regular Americans are doing, how working people are doing, except that it is. Except that's exactly what their job is, right? And so they don't forget the moral aspect of it. This is harming the economy, but they don't care. Listen, Nancy Pelosi, she proposed, the Dems proposed a $2.2 trillion bill. Mitch McConnell and the Republicans, it was $500 billion. Now, if you're the Democrats, if you're Nancy Pelosi in that position, you got to take that $500 billion, man. You got to take it. The American people need something. They need something. The Republicans. They're not gonna give any ground. They're not gonna agree with you, man. They're just not. You got to give the people something. You got to give them something, man. The $600 unemployment benefits ended in July. That was over 6 months ago, going on 7 months now or something like that. People don't have that anymore. That was actually really good for people, but the Republicans, of course, it's too much, too expensive. You're paying people to stay at home. Well, what the fuck do you want us to do? Is either you pay people to stay at home, or you do a universal mask mandate and be very strict on it and have very strict guidelines for people that are going out. It's one of the two. What we need is a UBI. That's an entirely separate video. So you either pay people to stay at home, or you enact the correct guidelines for people when they go out. And we're doing neither, which is why all states except for one, which is Hawaii, the coronavirus pandemic is considered uncontrollable at the moment. In all states except for one, because of what these people are doing right now. And as far as it goes with Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, they just want the credit. They just want the credit. Nancy Pelosi could have agreed on the Republicans' terms of the bill before the election. Could have did it, but she didn't want to do it. Why didn't she want to do it before the election? Doesn't even seem to want to do it now. But why did she want to do it before the election? Because they were afraid Donald Trump could get reelected. They didn't want to harm Joe Biden's chances of being elected, right? They cared more about that than the American people. They cared more about that than the health, the safety, the overall outcome of how the American people are doing, the people they're supposed to be serving. Now, I want to move on to a different article. This article is on Business Insider, and I want to talk to you guys in this later half of the video about what programs are running out that will be over by the time that this year is over. So, Business Insider, it says many stimulus programs are due to expire at the end of 2020, threatening the U.S. economy during the COVID-19 pandemic's most challenging phase. A number of critical COVID-19 economic relief programs will expire at the end of the year, which could force millions off of unemployment insurance, push many small businesses to permanently close, and raise the specter of mass evictions. This could threaten the stability of the U.S. economy as the country enters an uncertain 2021. In March, during the early days of the coronavirus pandemic, the $2 trillion Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act, or CARES Act, easily passed both houses of Congress with bipartisan support, providing a lifeline to recently laid off employees and businesses that were forced to close due to COVID-related shutdowns. Now, this CARES Act, it was a big scam. Just like how everything else is in America, it was a big scam. It allowed Steve Mnuchin, the head of the Treasury, Goldman Sachs douchebag, to go in and pump $1 trillion a day, not a billion, not a million, $1 trillion a day to these big corporations. That's what that allowed. And then the people, as a result, got a one-time $1,200 check that they're somehow still expected to live off of, 7 months later. I rest my case on that. Now, I want to read unto you the programs that will be closing in these next coming weeks, really. So, extending unemployment insurance. So, on December the 31st, the pandemic emergency unemployment compensation will expire. This economic relief program extended traditional unemployment benefits from the standard 26 weeks to 39 weeks. Self-employed and gig economy workers can collect state unemployment benefits through December the 31st, but that will also expire under the CARES Act. Eviction moratoriums. We are going to see a mass rate of evictions if something is done about this eviction thing. So with extended unemployment benefits on the line and millions looking for new jobs, many have fallen behind on rent and mortgage payments. By the end of the year, this could set off a wave of new evictions and homelessness, all during what could be some of the most difficult days of the coronavirus pandemic. The Census Household Pulse Survey taken during late October and early November presented an ominous message, with 32.9% of households indicating that they were behind on rent or mortgage payments, and 25.9% of respondents expecting a loss in income over the next month. The data also showed that 12% of respondents revealed having food insecurity, meaning that they were unable to provide enough healthy food for the household due to lack of resources. An analysis conducted by Stout revealed that roughly 6.4 million evictions could take effect at the beginning of the year. Imagine that. Imagine 6.4 million evictions that could take place at the beginning of 2021. What a start. What a start to a year, right? What a start. There's even more. So student loan forbearance. The pandemic-related student loan forbearance, which is, Donald Trump put a hold on everybody's student loan payments. That runs out in December. Millions of borrowers of student loans, instead of paying their student loans, they can put money towards other things that they actually need to put money towards, like eating and living and breathing and stuff. You know what I mean? Instead of paying off these taxing student loans that shouldn't even exist, right? And so, of course, I have a video talking about student loans and what, people are saying that Joe Biden should do about it, what he really should do about it, and things of that nature. If you haven't seen the video, please go watch it. But yeah, man, we're in a tough situation, a really, really tough situation, all while other countries are completely outclassing us in handling this pandemic in more ways than one. There's a chart. I don't have it pulled up right here, and I won't pull it up, but it shows how much other countries are paying people pretty much to stay at home, or it's like kind of like a UBI. We got the one-time $1,200 check, but other countries like the UK, for example, I don't know that I don't really want to throw out numbers because I'll be wrong because I don't know off the top of my head, but other countries are paying the people $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month. Just depending on what country it is. I know the European countries they're furloughing workers. I believe France is doing the same thing, or they have been doing it since the beginning of the pandemic. The European countries said, okay, we're not going to fire anybody. We're going to furlough everyone. We're going to keep the economy going because they know. See, in those countries, I believe it was Professor Richard Wolff that said this, but in those countries, the government is afraid of the people. See, here in America, the people are afraid of the government. Isn't that something? See, they know in Europe, no matter if you're right wing, left wing, in the middle, they know that if you don't bail out the people, if you don't help the people, they will bring the economy to a halt in a way that a pandemic never could. In the words of Professor Richard Wolff, they'll go on a general strike at the drop of a hat, and they'll stop everything. They'll stop the production of everything. They know that this will happen in those European countries. So they abide the correct way. See, here in America, and I don't want to, this video is getting kind of long already, there's a strong sense of individualism, and there's a lot of different things that can distract us from really focusing on the true problems. But that's an entirely different video. I'll probably make a video on that sometime in the future. But just recognize the situation that we're in. If the things that I read unto you and the things that I'm saying to you doesn't ignite a fire within you somehow, I don't know what will. This is completely insane. The American people have been left out to die, essentially, with no help from the people that should be helping them. And it's a very sad thing to see.